last game. I'm not supremely confident that 70 is going to be able to get too much done with his Earth Spirit making a bunch of early rotations, unless it's into CTY's lane to be able to play around the Terrorblade in like a Metamorphosis timing. But again, I mentioned Terrorblade into an Underlord Nature's Prophet with all that magic damage doesn't feel like the easiest time to me. So it really is kind of up in the air.
70 is going to have to have a good time with his rotations, because if he doesn't, this is something we've seen, this hero can very much fall off a cliff. And that is a lot of pressure on him now in a game 3. I mean, at least you do have some supports that are going to scale. We know Ice gets a lot of farm on his Batrider. We know Warlock late game can be a bit of an issue. We'll see what Beyond's going to be able to do as well if he get more farm than what Zeal did. But, of course, the start, nice read. They're able to get the D ward from IG, so already slight advantage.
Look at how much attention they're putting on that mid lane as well. Dual observer wards placed down here. They want to make sure that we don't get a repeat of the last time where basically every single power rune went over to 70 and he just balled out of control. So they want to make sure that they've got good understanding of when these rotations are happening, because IG, they're a lineup that has the potential to punish it. Early on, of course, with the Nature's Prophet, but later on, well, certainly giving away a first blood over for PYW. Well,
nice.
Tries to slow things down, but 70 getting a first blood is a nice way to begin things, and what is a nice way to begin things, and what is a nice way to begin things. And well, I was just about to mention they have a bit more of this global presence, right, with the Underlord as well, once he's able to hit up onto the level 6. So in terms of the pick-off potential, I'm feeling a little bit more solid about that, but certainly 70 getting this first blood sets him off on a great way to be able to start this game.
Yes, it does indeed. But of course, this is the strategy that they've had in a couple of the games so far from IG, giving Dust Avenge. We'll see if it is going to pay off this time. What is the damage advantage looking like? It is going to favor Dust. So
and of course,
we'll
he's got the
see.
Wave of Terror as well, just to make sure that it's even harder for him to be able to last hit a lot of those creeps with the damage reduction. Got to be careful about your placement of it, though. Don't want to inadvertently push the lane out. Look at this. They're both trying to manipulate the lane so that it's up on the high ground for as long as possible. So who says individual skill is gone in Dota?
And you said that Emo so far through his pubs has got a ridiculous win rate on his Phantom Assassin. He's going to be paired up with the Lich in this lane. They will put the Warlock down bottom, though. So what do we make of this? We've covered a lot of Team Zero in 2 or 3, and honestly, in a lot of their series so far as well in the qualifiers. We are yet to see them actually move ZZQ and Ice into a separate lane. So what do we make of this with the Warlock here in the Batrider top?
I'm a little intrigued in it as well. I was kind of thinking that maybe even though you got some big buffs up to the Fatal Bonds and the Upheaval, that it might be the sort of lane up top where you want to put a few more points in the Shadow Word, just so that if you are dealing with a lot of this damage over time, you can just pump the Shadow Word in onto the TB and he's going to be just A-okay. So for bottom side, I don't know, maybe they just want to keep the lane shoved in a little bit, prevent Emo from farming up a lot more, because he's going to be taking a lot more of this passive damage, I guess. But I don't know, I'm honestly a little bit confused myself.
Yeah. Ice's top lane is putting a lot of damage onto Zeal. I don't think he gets the kill, but we are seeing, though, like this is also another thing. Maybe they feel like there's a little bit more kill threat, considering the Batrider has some repositioning value that is really nice with the Terrorblade with the meta. So I'm a bit concerned on like ZZQ's position has to be ever so perfect down bottom, but maybe if they can just outspam Emo, he's not going to be in any danger position. So far looking okay.
Yeah, now that you mention what you were just saying before, though, about this top lane, I mean, maybe that's just Ice's role, right? Yeah, the Batrider is able to get so much more aggressive than the Warlock is, both in terms of like movement speed as well as just being able to prevent the Underlord from playing aggressively against the Terrorblade. They want to give CTY a solid start. So that's really what's going to enable that as much as possible.
Ooh, nice TP out. ZZQ just makes it back towards the T1 tower. He's got to tip PYW as well, so of course that was just his teleport used, not the scroll. It's going to be okay. Meanwhile, mid, 70 is getting bodied even after that first blood. 17-7 compared to the 8-2.
It's the advantage of that Wave of Terror, man. Like, if you're reducing your attack by 1/5, what are you supposed to do against that? Might be one of these instances where he needs to go. I mean, you're not like you're spamming out spells all that often, I guess, but is it the sort of thing where you need to buy an early-ish raindrops? But I guess you're really looking to play around those early meta usages. You're looking to get the charges into the urn as quickly as possible.
I guess one thing as well with Ice being up top is that there is going to be a limited potential to make stacks, right? Which don't really have the stack take up, but I guess it is really just, I mean, the Bat Rider can do it himself. As CTY actually wants to play aggressive. It's a long distance flame break along with the blood grenade as well. They're going to put all their attention over to Zeal. He's got a healing Lotus to work with as well, and he doesn't even need to activate it too, as now Ice runs under the tower. Sprout's going to set up some of the Firestorm tick. He will not die to the blood grenade though, but a lot of resources being expended. In fact, PYW is going to be able to teleport into the backside and secure the kill in the end. So this is huge. That is, I mean, that is your, what, first meta, maybe second meta use of the game, and you don't get a kill off the back of it. So now you got 110 seconds where this should be a favored lane for IG. Maybe even a kill onto CTY.
Yeah, this is the big thing, right? You just cannot leave the guy alone for this long, and you would have loved to be able to rotate Ice towards the mid lane just to give 70 a bit of an easier time, get him a bottle refill, but look at what Dust is doing in mid. You're forced to try and roll away just to try and get a single last hit here in this. He's just going to keep the pressure up as well. Oh, just lost sight. If that was daytime, he would have been dead.
Yeah, like, my concerns for Icespirit are still showing up right now. I mean, all right, it'll be different if he gets kills off the back of his rotations, but if he does not convert on his like first two moves, then you can kind of say goodbye to his game.
Look at how much attention they're already putting here, QIQX. Leaving Emo completely on his own, realizing that, you know what, Warlock isn't really going to be able to do that much in this lane. Might look to give the, is somebody
mid lane
okay?
Tries to get the kick away. QIQX, nice swat from Dust. Gets in range for the Magic Missile. Meanwhile, Zeal is getting chased down. CTY, with the help of Ice is going to be able to secure a trade across the map. So they recognize the vulnerability of the Underlord without anyone nearby.
Response bottom again, so a little bit of luck coming through from Team Zero. Might end up costing Ice his life. They actually have an earner available on PYW, so nice little way to be able to deal a lot of that extra damage over time, as he ends up using the last one, but with the Firefly still with a couple of seconds left, wasn't able to use the Sprout to be able to catch him out.
This is a conversion that we're speaking about. 70 needs to get the kills. Emo, does he have someone to Phantom Strike to? He does. QIQX for the TP in. They're still going to hunt, though. They're going to get another TP out of Dust. Of course, they'll see this. Oh, 70's going to go for it. Kick up in a couple of seconds. He won't even need it to get the kill in the end. Tries to turn to slow down Dust.
Doesn't have
Looks like
mana.
he's going to be able to escape.
Dust just doesn't have mana to be able to use that swap or the magic missile. Ends up losing the Warlock, but you're very happy to take that trade if it results in Emo's game being slowed down. Of course, this is a PA that once you pick up that Battle Fury, you're able to farm like an absolute beast. But look at the body blocks as well from Dust. Nicely done, but it's not enough. And it gets him onto his level 6.
He's got 11. Oh, yeah, they can turn. Beyond can use the walls to tank. These are the rotations you need out of 7E, and he's doing an incredible job with the roll on the mark. They might even look for Emo. They've got the wave to be able to continue to take another ultimate. Is picked up thanks to all the kills. Is Team Zero. Relentless pressure down to the bottom side. Emo can jump over the top, but Beyond, he still has plenty of duration left on the shapeshift. Let's see if he's going to be able to be on the mark, and he guesses wrong. Emo's out. Nicely done.
Be able to see a replay of that one, because what I was focusing in on most was there was like a little bit of, I'm not sure if it was a bottle refill attempt or for whatever reason Emo thought that he could just give a salve that he bought over to Dust, but he ended up putting an unusable salve in Dust's inventory to try and make sure that he survived a little bit longer, and it just really didn't end up working out. Caused them to be out of position for an extra couple of seconds, and well, this time around they should finally be able to secure one of those rooms.
Get the host! Someone pick it up! Alright, QIQX at the last second finds it.
Swaps available.
And they block the roll. Won't even need it.
Oh, see the Q. Alright.
The sky despises the look of you.
dude, with all this going on, man, I just saw CTY's net worth.
So did I.
Holy
who's happy
crap.
about this? Terrorblade, CTY, give him a laning stage.
And now, what is kind of the role for Ice now? You've given the Terrorblade a pretty good lane. What is his next couple of minutes? Because we know that this Batrider against scales very well and is a little bit more of a greedy greedy support.
Yeah, I think you could still look to see him play around where Emo is playing on that side of the map. Maybe force Emo to not play quite so closely towards his tier 2 tower, slow down the timing on his Battle Fury even further. I mean, there is some damage coming back the other way, but maybe he just wants to wait until he's got like his level 5 at least, so that Firefly has a 6-second lower cooldown on it. Considering a smoke, it feels. Yep, 70 and Ice going together. Got the Magnetize back up, but no earned charges just yet. Spirit Vessel still a little bit away as well for 70.
Zill's under the ward. They're going to know exactly where he is. It's a nice pit, but it's not going to matter. The rest of the team want nothing to do with this.
Meta up in
They're going to pop the Magnetize, so get the kill nonetheless. Zill will make him work for it. Even gets a Corey for good measure. Meanwhile, though, down at the bottom jungle, Beyond some danger. Swap back. Another round of the Magic Missile. They need the body blocks, and it's pretty good so far, but meanwhile, Beyond's micro, it just uses the Wolves and the Helm Dom to get the kill onto PYW, so in the end, that's 4 heroes and... Beyond? Beyond?
To run in.
Oh, dude, he's playing with fire. It's all a bait. Beyond, he lets the rest of the team come on over. From top to mid, they go. Beyond just dangling his own life, and with Team Zero showing up in full force. Now this tower is going to take a lot of damage as well off the back of the meta.
It's going to take all of its damage. They really don't have any way to be able to stop this, with the Underlord TPing back up towards the top side. Hasn't put a point in the Fiend's Gate just yet. Nothing will be able to defend this. And I mean, even just the small things like Ice pulling the creep wave over to the right side, farming it up with the Firefly while the TP takes the tower. Team Zero are completely on the same page, and I love to see it.
So what do IG need to do now? Because, you know, we said Emo, this Phantom Assassin in his pubs, he's got a ridiculous win rate, but you are going to be playing from behind. You're going to be playing catch-up for a very long stage this game. You said it was kind of a 4 Protect 1 style of draft. How are they going to be able to make the space now for Emo?
I think you still need to play a tiny bit greedy for this next little bit, right? Zeal, he's still 300 gold away from his Vanguard. Once he's picked that up, you're really not that afraid of the Terrorblade and the Lycan unless the meta is popped, right? And if you're able to do that, maybe you put a point in the Fiend's Gate and just use it to bring people up to you to be able to help you out, and then look to try and take a turnaround, because you've just got to make space for Dust and Emo to be able to play. Again, these are 2 heroes that are going to be incredibly greedy for the first 20 minutes of the game. So the plays need to happen around the rest of them. If you can keep shoving out lanes, that's a great plus, but you got to pour some attention onto yourself if you're Zeal. Maybe we need to see PYW cut as well. Like, there's 1 point Sprout. So this build, it's kind of builds changing. It's when you're developing ever since we've been in the qualifiers so far. Mid lane 7E. He doesn't want to give. Oh, really nice kick. Maybe a preemptive one for Dust to try and get some distance with the swap, and they're going to be able to continue with the chase. And now they might even get QIQX. Nice rid of the TP with no stuns being available, but nonetheless, like you said, this greedy vengeful spirit needs some time, and he's currently not getting it. No lasso mana, unfortunately, for Ice. Gets a couple of bottle sips at the very end there, so that's not going to be the case moving forward. But yeah, I mean, he's just able to, again, play so aggressively on this Batrider, take away so much of this farm, force these heroes to be farming in vulnerable spots like the Venge, and they've even been able to spot out Emo here. This instantly going for a bit of a dive. Tower also being pressured, and they don't have a Glyph. Meta's up if they want to pop it. What could we look into? Maybe a swap back into the Frostblast chain as well to nuke someone? We're gonna go on CTY, but he separates from the illusion. Chain control needs to be perfect. The rock might prevent that. The Sunder, CTY gets it off. And now it's a disaster for IG. The attempt was there. It was a last-ditch one at that, but in the end, it's going to be a 5-man wipe, and this game is getting well out of hand. It is almost unrecoverable at this stage. I think so as well. I mean, they went super greedy. Lanes didn't work out well for them. They gave away that first blood. You were expecting to dominate 7E in the lane. Still did very well, of course, on Dust, but it's going to be so much time until he's able to get into that Aghanim Scepter. And you need to protect Emo, right? I don't think that's the wrong sort of decision, but I think you need to protect him by creating threats across other areas of the map. You can see PYW with a 2 points Nature's Call. He's going to be able to do that up towards this top side, but you need Zeal there as well, using his Underlord as that big, like, protection factor.
How strong can Zeal really be this game, though, with the Vessel and 7E? Like, it feels like you expect him to be a tanky man, but I feel like that Vessel changes things.
If you're killing him, you're not killing PA, you're not killing Venge. Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. You got to sacrifice your early game.
Dude, you have a 14-minute Blink Dagger from Ice as well. And if you keep getting ultimates like that from ZZQ, his team fight prowess is going to be very, very scary. Solar Crest, dude. He's got a Solar Crest. What?
That's a great item. Oh, no. They're going to be able to yoink away a lot of this farm as well. Zeal's trying to farm it for now.
Oh, they might just get some kills instead. We were speaking about the Spirit Vessel. Look at the damage that 7E's pumping out. High attack speed with the Glove of Haste working into the Midas, and this is just two heroes that can kill off the Underlord. And meanwhile, on the other side of the map, Dust goes down to Beyond along with Ice. That was not even the lasso that was needed.
You an Earth Spirit believer yet?
No, I'm not yet, but I think 7E is having an incredible game.
Prior to this patch, I was not an Earth Spirit believer, but ever since the change to just being able to be undisableable during the roll, it's huge. Like, Rupture doesn't counter you, Roots don't counter you, you just roll right on through them.
They're going to continue to try and hunt.
They saw
got a glimpse of him, I think.
Being used.
7E. Wow.
Man's wow. I told you. Attitude, it's got a big factor in Dota. They're even positioned right outside the Roche pit as well. If they were wanting to come up there, meta's available, but they want to put even more pressure down on this bottom side. No vision right now of Emo, but they know that this is basically the one safe area of the map for him to be playing in. I say safe, they just lost the 5-man fight before. QIQX is there as a bit of backup. They used them as a bit of bait, but I think Dust revealed briefly on the lane, so maybe using him as bait for now. It's just that they're not taking any sort of map. That's my main issue. Can buy the second component of the Ags if he really wants to. He wants the point booster.
I think, yeah, Zil separated a bit too early. They were trying to set up with Ice, even ZZQ and 7E was starting to move on down.
And they just get Roche. All right, cool. CTY with double the net worth of 2 of the cores on Invictus Gaming right now, yeah. Farm and Beast. I'm liking what PYW is doing, though. He's making sure to try and cut the wave as much as possible. He pulled the wave into the small camp just to slow things down a little bit. He's probably going to try and cut the next one as well, just to try and take even more of that attention away.
Yeah, it's going to be up to the supports now to block a lot of the smokes.
And, I mean, they're using the ganks because they want to... Oh, bottom side.
Yeah, great jump. Ice. They're going to try and do whatever they can with the Chain Frost, but it's not going to matter. No one even dies. They separate themselves at a perfect timing.
Greedy. They've still got for like half duration. They didn't use the glyph for it, so at least they're going to be able to defend this like double wave into the high ground. But this is with the help of the Overlord as well. Jesus,
dude. What is this damage? They got another. They got Emo. Oh, they cancelled his TP. Ooh.
Wiggle on it.
Oh, we're getting close because this PA Terrorblade matchup is also very volatile. You are not going to be able to play too well when you're this far behind. Ice make an attempt on the PYW.
Yeah.
Last he'll TP
he's
up.
doing what he needs to on PYW, trying to cut lanes as much as possible. He's got a decent amount of net worth for a support, but I mean, even prior to that Emo kill, it was a 4-20 kill score. They were absolutely smoking them across the board. And I mean, they still do retain, actually they don't retain their glyph. They lost their tier 3 tower. So now that this last lane is complete food. And it's not even like they have amazing high ground. Like, it's okay on the Underlord, and it's okay on the Venge. And I guess the Chain Frost inside of an enclosed area can be all right, but I don't think we've seen a single bounce come through from the two Chain Frosts that I've seen so far this game.
Yeah, no, I don't think so either. Oh, he got him, 7E. Nicely done. PYW once again going to take another spill. 6, 1, and 10 is 7E. In fact, it's beyond that was rewarded with the kill. And they're probably just going to push down multiple lanes. You can go top, you can go mid.
They don't really care about bot right now. They're saying, you know what, Emo's far enough behind that he might have a Battle Fury, but he'll have absolutely nothing else. But you got to make sure that you convert on this first Aegis timing with how far ahead you are. Looks like iSize might even be looking to try and catch out Emo farming. He doesn't have vision of him right now, but again, they see that there aren't creeps being pushed. They know approximately where he's going to be. Positioning is perfect. He was underneath the ward the entire time. There's a tiny little area where he could look to avoid it, and he's been spotted out. But I guess they're defending a little bit. It's okay. It's kind of crazy, actually. There was.
Is that a bit? Sorry, I was going to say, is that a bait of a riff, thinking he was in another position just so he could get out more farm? I don't know. Interesting. Lose their base though.
Yeah, kind of in shambles. I want to show you that. If I look at the replay afterwards, there was like the tiniest sliver of fog of war, and iSize just maneuvered in that perfectly, understanding how much vision the creep wave had, how much vision would be provided on that cliff, and they did not see him a single time. PYW, he's going to be dying another time, trying to take the first tower for Invictus Gaming on the top side, and he just won't be successful. What can you do? Still one item away for Dust to be able to have that Aghanim Scepter for the second life, but you're just hitting in onto objectives. They pop the Frost Shield onto the belly racks, and he just hits a building. No flavor text, just building, and then just waits for it to expire, letting the Ancient Ice Shaman do the work. This is where the Wave of Terror is still quite effective, you know, heavily reducing the damage coming through from the TB, but it's still a 20k net worth lead this early on, and they're even going to be able to yoink away the Tormentor, take the 21-minute Wisdom Rune. I have to wonder if PYW goes for like a steal over on the dire side of the map just to give them a
they saw
bit of
Emo.
extra net worth.
They saw Emo again. Where are you running? Oh no!
He was ready to go for the Thunder as well. I was thinking maybe you might have wanted to commit there with PYW to be able to help out Emo a bit, but well, wasn't able to do it. He's going to look to try and put a little bit of pressure onto Beyond, but what is a Nature's Prophet going to be able to do against a Lycan? Absolutely nothing. Weren't even able to get that Wisdom Rune as well, so CTY ends up being the one to claim it for his team. Back at full HP. Plenty of farm as well.
Well, it looks like with this current state, dude, CTY. Oh, he has the Ag Shard queued up 4 times. Very funny.
There's some humor in it.
So is indeed. iSize in a pretty good position to be able to pop the smoke. Does so, and will blink out as well. Everyone is just playing perfect Dota on Team Zero.
He's even almost got a Lotus of a freaking Lotus on iSize. So, you know, you pop, let's say the Terrorblade on the high ground. You want to make sure that he's able to siege with the Metamorphosis. Just Lotus him. You're not going to be able to get the swap back. He's just going to go perfectly into the same position. Basically, just look to play around the Lotus cooldown and looking to siege. I mean, you know that they've only got probably 1 glyph left for the rest of the game if it goes as expected. With how far ahead Team Zero are right now, and they're even looking to try and get a quick pick off onto Zeal here. iSize would love to claim it, but I think a little bit of damage got pumped in onto him, disabling the Blink Dagger. Might just be that second Roshan, though, that they wait for. There is always the concern, though, that it'll give Emo something to be able to play around with. He's got the Battle Fury, he's got a value Blightstone, and he's 700 gold away from being able to pick up that BKB for himself. Made sure when he died previously to spend all of his gold so that he wouldn't be giving away any unreliable gold towards as a result of that death. So at least he's maximizing the amount of net worth that he has. And Venge, she's not quite got the Ags yet.
And has she got gold for buyback? She does, but yeah, if she uses it, I mean, it's gonna
lost 200.
Further put it away from that scepter. Emo, okay, very nice Phantom Strike away of 70's roll. He's gonna be able to get the TPR.
They know that there's no Earth Spirit here. Does he have enough? No, still 300 gold short. Being able to get that BKB for himself. They would love to be able to just wait this one out for another minute or so. Oh, Ice doesn't have the lasso available to be able to pick off Emo. They're just getting a crumb of net worth every now and then. You just see CTY placing him on the front lines. But once again, they retain a tier 3 tower. They're so close in being able to at least put up a smallest amount of a fight. That Wave of Terror plus the Frost Shield really does a lot to be able to protect this tower.
Well, got it in the end. How much of a fight are you going to be able to put up, though, with this BKB now on Emo? I mean, it's... Sure, maybe you stay alive for a couple extra seconds, but your damage be very minimal at best.
I want to see him get the BKB. I want to see him get level 15. I want to see him go Blur Evasion. Most of the time, you go the Phantom Strike, but I think he's just focused on trying to live in a lot of these fights and force the lasso to go in onto him. Of course, Venge, Dust is so close to level 12, so close to the Aghanim Scepter, and it's going to be a longish Roche spawn, so things looking good for IG in that regard. They will be able to hit these couple of timings, and they won't be punished with that extra life. So maybe fighting around the Roche pit is going to be a useful tool for them. You know, having that Chain Frost finally bouncing around, having the Underlord pit providing a lot, and I mean, they've even got a Crimson Guard as well, right? So they do have the ability to stand and fight. They've just never truly had all of their items to enable them to do it.
Oh, Dust. I bought the Scepter.
Yeah.
Can he get back to the base, though? Because 70 is going to TP him with a boot to travel after getting the kill. I don't think his Illusion will either. So, I mean, I guess he's got
he has no buyback now as a result of this. Fresh Scepter, the only reason you're buying that up is because you finally got the gold for it, so they can feel confident knowing that there's not going to be any sort of swaps back into the base. The downside, of course, is that CTY, no matter for another 20 seconds. So by the time he got there, Venge would be alive anyway. It's about time for the first Aghanim Shard purchase for CTY. We'll still have 4 left after that, but you never know.
Rapier is queued up for Emo.
Feels like that sort of territory, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, without a doubt. I mean,
the Demon Edge first doesn't reveal everything, though, right? It could still be an MKB up against the Terrorblade.
Yeah, up against his no butterfly.
Mm-hmm. Still effective against armor, though, right?
Yes, I mean that is that. Yes, sure, that is a very good point.
You tried to be very smart there, didn't you? Shut you down real quick.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did indeed. So we'll see. I mean, it's definitely, regardless, if you can get his farming in between CTY. Everyone, and unfortunately CTY.
You can't take any chances.
No, not at all. Not at all. They're also taking.
Vision. So is Beyond. So maybe knowing that the Terrorblade's there with no way to connect through, they feel confident to finally go for a fight.
And they'll get it. Easy start onto ZZQ. Still is able to drop the rock. It's going to hold Beyond down so the Lycan's not able to really get too much damage out. But look at the rest of the team. 70 shows up from the right. CTY gets in the middle as well. And they are tipping Emo. And now they're going to chase down Disillusion. They're not even done just yet because PYW is sort of trying to escape under the cover of the ward. It's a 4-for-1, a valiant exchange at the life of the Warlock, and they're going to call it Invictus Gaming. Will be eliminated from the TI-12 China Regional Qualifiers here. Team 0. There was a crazy game 1, but